Start with a few words from Coach Pizzotti, and then I'll open to questions for Jorie Allen.
Marquette did such a great job early to start the game, and we just struggled scoring. We absolutely struggled scoring, and we just didn't really recover from that. I thought what kept us in the game the first half was our tenacity on the offensive glass, and we had a great rebounding advantage at one point, up 5, I think, at halftime, and finished down 5. So Marquette probably talked about rebounding at halftime, and I think we had 11 second chance points, if I remember correctly, in the first half, and we finished with 13. So we only had 2 second chance points in the second half. So I think just our tough start, shooting the ball, we just didn't recover, and then we certainly, having 20 turnovers, Marquette scoring 22 points off our turnovers, it just was too much to overcome for us tonight.
Questions for Jorie? Please wait for the mic to get to you.
Jorie, you didn't play much in the first half. How tough was that for you to sit out and watch the rest of your team pretty much go to war for you?
Definitely frustrating. I had a first couple tough minutes. My first couple of post moves, I felt pretty good. Ball just didn't go in, and that happens. But I was really frustrated with myself picking up that second foul. I was a step late on defense and picked up that hand check after getting an offensive foul. And it's really hard. It's really risky to play a player with 2 fouls in the first half, especially a physical player who really is all over the place like I am. But I knew I was going to come out in the second half and just be really aggressive and, bring a lot of energy, bring a lot of hustle. My teammates are great, and anytime I'm struggling, they're always telling me, Jor, next play, one of my teammates jokes all the time. She goes, if I'm worried about anything, it's not you. But I was proud of the effort in the second half. My girls always go to war for me, even if it's not pretty at times. And I thought we had a lot of silly turnovers today, but the effort and the energy is always there, and the want to is always there. It's just a matter of executing, keeping our heads, keeping our composure, and making some shots. Unfortunately, that things didn't go our way today, but there's a lot of basketball left to play in the season.
Just kind of going off of that, excuse me, but what do you think went through your head the most during that time that you had out?
I was just trying to cheer up from the bench. And anytime you find yourself on the bench, whether it's foul trouble or whether it's just that's where you're at in the rotation, it is your job to bring energy on the bench. It's your job to talk. You're calling out what offense we're in. You're calling out what defense you're in. You're trying to talk to the other girls who maybe are struggling, or somebody who's done something great. I'm always trying to be vocal. And my bench players do a really good job of that. They're always so vocal and so energetic on the bench, and that's what you need. We have 16 on the roster. It takes all 16 at every moment.
And then, George, despite you not being able to play much, especially in that first half, Taylor Johnson-Matthews had a double-double today, also added 6 assists. What's her presence meant for this team, especially with obviously a lot of girls not being able to play thus far?
I'm really enjoying seeing Taylor come into herself in terms of, offensively finding her shots, and then, Coach Joe keeps challenging her on the defensive end to really be a presence down there as well. But I expect that from Taylor, so I'm not surprised. I totally expect, and I dare say I even expect more, and I'm going to be excited to see her continue to grow on and off the court and be a leader on this team in so many ways, because that's what we need from her, and that's what she's capable of.
Anything else for Jorie?
24 points in the second half, 0 points in the first half. Talk about that second half surge from you. Although your team didn't play much in the first half, you pretty much came out and put the team on your back. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We went high-low offense, and my teammates got me the ball in my sweet spot in the high post area, and I just went to work. And it's, once I saw the ball go down that first shot, I really relaxed and just kind of settled into the flow of the game. Got to my spots, hit a couple jump shots today. That always feels great. But it's just seeing the ball going and then having your teammates, after I got a couple to go early in the third quarter, my teammates kind of they're like, yeah, Jorie. And I was just like, thanks, guys, because, that first half was frustrating, immensely frustrating. But, it's just getting in the flow of the game and seeing the ball go down, it makes things a lot easier.
Thanks, Jorie.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
George.
Questions for Coach Pizzotti?
Coach, you spoke on this earlier about the turnovers, but it seems like you all had some careless turnovers where, the defense didn't really impact that on you all. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that hurt you all a little bit today?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to turn the ball over, that's for sure, and we've had a tendency to just be careless, especially after getting a steal. We just move too quickly, and we talk about being quick, we want to be quick, but we don't want to be in a hurry, and being in a hurry is leading to turnovers. So in a game like this where you're struggling to shoot the ball in, you certainly cannot give back possessions by turning the ball over, So it will remain a point of emphasis, and we talk about passing, making pass fakes before you pass, measure twice, pass well once. I mean, it's certainly a part of our everyday, and I think the players today really saw how it had a negative impact on the outcome, because again, when you're really trying to get back in it and you're struggling shooting, you can't turn the ball over. You can't. And I would, want to give some credit to Marquette with some of that, but other times, yeah, it's just an unforced, we kind of think of it as an unforced turnover.
Going forward with conference play, what do you think that you can take away from this game that can help you going forward?
How important it is to be ready from the jump. It's just, everyone in the Big East is just going to be they're just going to be tough outs, they're going to be tough games. So the importance of being ready, the importance of being prepared is really important, and I thought we had 3 good days of practice, but you got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to execute. You got to be ready to rebound. You've got to be ready to fight and battle and be combative from the jump, and then you have to be able, when your shot's not falling, to withstand that, just mentally withstand how tough, how kind of, I don't want to use the word depressing, but it's hard on players. They're shooting the ball and it's not going in, and actually we shot the ball incredibly well this morning, in shoot around. So they found the basket great this morning, so I'm sure it was very frustrating for them to not have their shot go in, and you got to be able to overcome that mentally, stay strong mentally, stay strong with the ball, and then the timeouts in the first half is hey, our rebounding's keeping us in this thing, so just continue to do that. Our shots are going to fall. We made that little run, we cut it to 8 with about 3 minutes to go in the first half, and if we could have just, at that moment, gotten some more stops and taken care of the basketball and got a couple more buckets, it would have been great going into halftime down 6 or 8 versus 16.
Coach, obviously you guys have yet to play a game all season with your full complement of players, but outside of Taylor, Jorie, and Meg, you guys only got 6 points from everybody else on offense. How can this team kind of have a more balanced offensive attack, especially in times when Jorie or other players might go out with foul trouble?
Well, that's what was so great about the Butler game. Jorie had a tough night against Butler, and we had some other kids step up and make buckets, and we need other players to shoot and make baskets, and we've got players shooting, but we need other players to make baskets, and everyone is going to focus so much of their attention on Jorie and our inside game, and Taylor's going to draw the best perimeter defender. So the other 2 players out there, they got to be able to find their spots and get open and knock them down. Jump up, step up, and just knock them down. So we were trying to find some players who were going to make a bucket tonight, and we just struggled from the floor. We struggled from the floor.
Coach, you all had 5 games at home. These last 5 games, how do you evaluate how this team has played over those 5 games?
Overall, I think our players have done a good job of kind of having to get through the crazy difficulty of the non-conference schedule. It was important for us to keep our players positive and to educate them on, our record is not an indication of how good we can be, but it's hard. It's hard to get out there and get pounded, go out there, get beat again, get beat, and against the top 15 teams in the country, you know, so I thought our players did a good job of kind of rebounding off of that, and then our Butler win was a great win to start Big East play, and came at a time where, again, it can be difficult to have the focus because the players are all going home as soon as the game's over, but I thought they did a tremendous job of staying focused for those 40 minutes and getting the job done. So overall, I thought it was, they've shown improvement, and it was good. You know, it would have been great to get today also to just, you know, head out on the road for the first time in the Big East 2-0, but instead we're 1-1.
One more here.
I obviously asked Jorie the same question, but now I'll ask you. Taylor Johnson-Matthews obviously double-double, had 6 assists as well. Just what has her presence meant from your perspective to this team, especially with being so, like, undermanned?
Yeah, I mean, it's been big, you know, early on. We knew Taylor, you know, Taylor's a 3-level scorer. And then on this team, we just need consistency, you know, and I think her transition to this level of play and the demands of this level of play and the ins and outs of everyday preparation, she's has gotten better and better with all of that. But there's still just spots, you know, you just know there's more in her, and we're going to continue, as Jorie said, continue to be demanding. And this, she doesn't have the, she's in a position where we just can't, like, we need her. We need her, and we need her right now, and we need her every game. So that's a lot of, you know, pressure. They say pressure is a privilege, and I think Taylor for sure wants that. She wants to be great for this team, and that's kind of the first step with this, and she wants to be great, but we're going to be demanding of her, and it's just, we have a very small margin of error with our team, and she's going to be a big part of us having some other people score other than our inside game. You know, and then we just got to continue to add a couple more players hitting some perimeter shots.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, you guys. All right. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Sorry, Alan.